Welcome back to our continuing adventures on the Let's Defend platform. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays for all those that celebrate. So we are underneath the incident responder path yet again, responding to an incident that occurred July 14th, 2023, 8:32 a.m. underneath SOC214, Qakbot Data Theft. EventID is 166. Event type is data leakage. So it looks like we have a detection on the system named Robert. So it looks like they downloaded something for form, and this picked up info.lnk, or so link file. Apparently that fired off an ad.bat. This was allowed. L1 note: after reviewing the alert, I discovered an email with a suspicious attachment named info.7zip. It was found that several suspicious commands were executed on the system after receiving the email. A zip to link to bat process execution chain strongly suggests an infection with Qakbot malware. This alert has been escalated for further investigation and action. So if we go and take a look in July 13th, there is a Zerto at digitalzeti.com to Robert. That was allowed. Let's see. All claims. Hey, I have attached a presentation for your review. Best regards. And then a form. .zip was attached, which, if you'll remember, in the user's download directory, there was a form subfolder. So if you were to extract the 7-zip file to a folder, it would choose the default file name, which would be form. So if we were to pull this down and take a look, we get ooh, 150. Okay, a little bit bigger than what I was expecting. It's been 2 months, but we get one thing that picks it up. Granted, it is a password-protected zip file. But underneath details, no, relations. It basically lets us know that, yeah, so there's a XLS file here, a readme.link, and an ad.bat. So apparently the Excel file is got some sort of macro for download. The readme.link has no detections, and the ad.bat has no detections. Although it does come back with a file scan report. So what we're dealing with is, by the looks of it, just from what this is able to take a look at and what I can confirm by taking an actual look at a system, is we are definitely dealing with something malicious. So it looks like the trick would be to get you to click on the README, and I'm sure during some portion of the process you would end up getting what you would end up needing. And what we have is I have spun up a Win10 VM. I realize it is incredibly small, but effectively Let me see about up on the font so we can take a better look at this. We'll try size 36 font and see how that comes through. Oh, that's much better, much better. Okay. So I have a system called Lab, and we're running the Eric Zimmerman's lecmd.exe. We're doing a -f to point to a file, which in this case is CUser's lab desktop form, which is the extracted folder name, and then the readme.lnk. So we get the typical stuff: source, MAC, target MAC. We get the relative path pointing to cmd.exe. Working directory marks the Let's Defend desktop arguments. Basically calls the form directory ad.bat to kick off. Confirmed by the parsing path. So we'll see if AppGuard does the metaphorical needful here. So give me 1 second, I'm going to pause and give everything a little bit more power. Okay, so, and I realize it's going to be harder to see, but effectively, inside the form we have the ad.bat, the form underscore 1484052-071420223.xls file, and we have the readme shortcut, which we just took a look using the Eric Zimmerman tool. If we open up ad.bat, which I've got back here, so it looks like a bunch of recon commands. Who am I all? Command C set, arp A, ipconfig, netview all, ns lookup. Looks like for an LDAP for Let's Defend, net share, route print, netstat NAO, net local group. Apparently go through and kill DLL host and task host W. And then we're apparently going to run ecentutil for C Windows users, or C users, Let's Defend App Data Local Microsoft Windows Web Cache. And I am not familiar with what ecent. Although the interesting aspect is I don't see a follow-up item here where it would kick off the XLS file. It goes through and does all this, but you would think that, okay, readme would then kick that stuff off. But then again, well, I guess it depends as to what the ecent stuff does. So is that another Bulbin? It does not appear to be a Lulbin. ecentutil is a command line utility from Microsoft used for database maintenance and recovery operations. Wait, no, it is. A Lulbin. So I guess what I get for not bothering to go through and take a look at everything. Okay, and we go from that particular aspect. So we can go through and take a look and see what this looks like on an actual system. So we don't have to sit there and potentially risk infecting. Yeah, but so there's that and what that looks like. And I am just going to permanently delete that there. That goes away. That finishes. We'll pause it. Take that away, and then we go back here. So all of that just is a little bit of work, but yeah, so binary for working with Microsoft Joint Engine Technology Database. Apparently you can copy files, dump stuff into alternative data streams, and be used to copy files. Which isn't really a whole hell of a lot in there that I really care about. But it also does just kind of suck that nothing else really picks it up. So I think we can safely say that yes, that email, bad. As to whether or not it's necessarily Qakbot, well, that's debatable. That shut down? Yep, that shut down. Okay. So, typical fashion, we're going to go through, get a copy of the email, make sure we have a copy of the file saved, and then we are going to delete it. As long as we've got a copy of what we need, and we do. So yeah, then we can definitely confirm the rest of this stuff through zipped, linked, bat. And if we take a look, July 14th on the Robert system, so we see Excel, which would make sense that they opened up the XLS document. And we see traffic for Microsoft. Nexus rules office apps.live. We start seeing some weird stuff. Then we start seeing Excel.exe reaching out to an IP address to pull down some DAT files. Of course, we don't have hashes, but if we take those and we plop them in, we do get notifications that yes, at least at some point they were marked as malicious or phishing. At least the first one. Second one is 404. Third one only had one thing that picked up on it. So if we take and try doing a search, did anybody manage to get a copy of these things? And are they up in URL house? Apparently not. So then we'll have to pray that Sysmon, if it's on the box, has gone through and actually recorded something we can use. Or if we take a look at the Excel document, maybe there would be a relay. Oh, look at that. We see more of what it tried to pull to, with at least some detections. so hey, let's see what you got. Blacklisted API. So they actually pull out the macro. Okay. Oh, they actually have an image of what it showed up as. Oh, when they tried to open the document itself. Okay. Oh, and then that's the actual code itself. Dres.red, red1, red2. Yeah, so we'll keep this here. Come back to it. But I'm willing to bet that those will probably be additional portions. Payloads, something. But if we take a look at processes at 832, we can see that we get image path for Excel, and we're doing a reg svr32 silent, and we're doing dres.red. Dres.red1. And then we see the same commands that were all listed out in the ad.bat, netview-all, nslookup, netshare, route print, netstat, netlocalgroup. The task kill, and then that eSentUtil, even though I can't seem to bring the page any further down. So yeah, we're just going to immediately go, and we want that sucker contained. And we'll see about spinning up a connection to it. So we've got the email gone. Let's grab the addresses that were permitted. Let's take a look at threat intel. With what they give us, and let's see what shakes out. There might be something. So I'm just taking those HTTP addresses and popping them in and trying to go through and do a search. No? Okay. How about just the IP addresses themselves? Nothing. So no workable threat intel. How about the email? Digital Zeddy. Nothing. Okay, so threat intel's not going to help us in this regard. Nope. Okay, that's fine. We're just waiting for the endpoint to spin up for us to poke at. So get remote desktop stood up. But yeah, this automatically looks bad with the execution from their from that link. Although I don't think it was info. I think it was readme, wasn't it? Now I've got to go back and actually take a look. Actually, no, I don't have to. Yeah, readme.lnk. So where did the info come from? I guess we'll take a look and see as to what it looks like on the actual system once this comes up all the way. But yeah, this is definitely prime real estate for nuke and pave. Okay, so we're in. So let's just go back and confirm. So if we take a look at downloads, we get the form.7zip. Inside the form, we have README and we have the Excel document. If we do hidden files, there's our AD, and then to confirm, if we open the AD.bat with Notepad++ on this box, we can confirm the same set or same spec. Add echo off, who am I all, command/c set, arp a, so on and so forth, all the way through. Excuse me. So what was the aspect that we were looking for? Like inside a temp, possibly. We got a dat file that's empty that was just today. We got one from 11:30. When we should be looking for something that would be sooner rather than that. Okay, that's fine. How about go here, dot red. Can we restore or grab a copy of that Dresd file? Is it anywhere that we can recover? Yeah, well, let's go ahead and get Event Viewer up. So yeah, I'm going to say it's probably a good chance that we're going to find what we're looking for here, and they ran this. I guess we don't have 7-zip installed? I guess not. I was going to say, it's like, just so we could confirm that, it's not info, but it should be readme. But maybe that just is an oversight, so I guess I'll have to point that out as a feedback item. Sysmon operational. Yay, Sysmon. $713. Interesting. I wonder if the time and dates don't match. If it was the email was sent at 4:39 on the 13th, and then on the 14th is when we have the alert. Okay. There we go. Wikimedia, WPad, Amazon, news.google, Twitter. Explore. Amazon and AWS. Okay, so here's so they downloaded it at 8:29:34 a.m. The form.7zip. They extracted it at 8:29:54 a.m. to the form. We get the file creation for the folder created for in the downloads directory form, and then the 80.bat, the XLS document, and then the readme.lnk. No mention of info, so that obviously is wrong. And then we see Excel firing up. Current directory is the /download/form. So it looks like they ran the Excel document. And Excel is reaching out. Apparently we're going to install something now. Here we go. Current directory is inside of documents. Yeah. But there's nothing there. But what we do have a hash. But the question is that going to be for reg SVR32? Or is it going to be for this .red file that it's mentioning? It's going to be for the reg file. Unfortunately, or reg svr. Yeah, where we can see that it kicked off the reg svr32/silent dash dot dot dash dresd dot red dot red1 dot red2. Then we get the network connections to those IP addresses that we observed, and then it looks like then they ran the ad.bat, which could have been just by looking at the README. And then that kicks off the command. So they ran the Excel file, then they kicked off the AD, which more than likely, ad.bat, which more than likely was taking a look at the README first. And then it runs through the normal aspect of all this stuff. Yep, so we don't apparently have a copy on the system. I mean, it might be something we might be able to carve back if we were to take a forensics image of the virtual machine. Try to run some tools there, some undelete, see as to what we could potentially pull. But I think we've got more than enough here. Oh, and then it kicks over the 21st. Yeah. Okay. So enough that we know that this is bad. So we've got it quarantined, although we didn't get anything that necessarily spelled out that it was Qakbot. Which kind of makes me really wish we'd had copies of those DAT files or anything else along those lines. Well, maybe we did. We had the DAT file for the 13th at 11:30. Oh no, it was a TMP. Apologies. Yeah, there were some JSON files. Okay, outside that, isn't there? What about like C Windows temp as opposed to just the actual? You don't have permission. Give me permission. Thank you. Anything here? Well, we got some Sentinel-1 stuff. For CrashPad. But unfortunately, nothing here that stands out. It would be something we would need to sit there and poke at more. Yeah, nuts. immediately stands out. Yep. So another item point would be, yeah, the AV's turned off. Yeah, I think we've got what we need. We've got confirmation from the sysmon. So let me terminate the connection and we'll just start going through there. Well, technically, it was considered recon, so I'm going to say from system. I'm going to say automated collection, given the fact that it was all scripted in the bat file. And no sign of data exfil. Does device in device side? Yes, we've done containment. Okay, how'd the cyber attack happen? End user got a malicious email with a password protected 7-zip file attached. In order to get past standard detections. The end user downloaded the attachment, extracted it, and then appears to have run the Excel file, the XLS file that was inside. And then it looks like they probably went back and either ran. No, they wouldn't have been able to run the bat file. It was hidden. So they had to have run the readme.lnk, which triggered the 80.bat. We had stuff downloaded and executed on the box. But enough with the execution that it's just like, yeah, we're not taking any chances. You can pay password rotation, everything else. How will staff management do? Well, given the fact that they were able to actually make the determination of Qakbot via following the process of zip to LNK to bat, I'd say they did pretty damn well. What could do differently? We could set up more alerting centered around the fact of zip or LNK files kicking off like bats and everything else, CMD files. Corrective actions. We could strip password protected attachments from emails, put them into some sort of admin quarantine to go through and be checked there. Ensure that AV is turned on for every endpoint would be probably another action we could take, since when we jumped in we noticed that it was turned off, or Windows Defender was. Precursors or indicators should be watched for. Password protected zip files, and then link to BAT or VBS or CMD execution would be another. And now we go to all the fun. So we're going to have the MD5 for the 7-zip, the Excel file, the BAT file, the LNK file. We're going to have the email sender. All right, so let's get that popped in here. We're going to have form.zip. We're going to have the Excel file. We're going to have the README. And then we're going to have the ad.bat. Oops, wrong way. Okay. Then we're going to have the email sender, email domain. Not going to need comments on that. Sender, domain. And then we're going to have URL addresses, since those were observed. And I'm just going to mark those as payload. I can't say for certain because I wasn't able to secure a copy, but given the fact that they're being pulled from IP addresses and their DAT files, I suppose we could take the Excel document and so I need, just before doc card, oh, a app. No, just app. Search. Good, 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 good. We got a couple. Hundred out of 100. This looks like this actually ran. Okay, you're doing that. Let's see. We're waiting on that. Wait, is that all it did was just... Okay, so there's 7, and then there's the... What's wrong, puppy? Hi. What's going on? Oh, what's going on? There it is, public disks. No, it wasn't submitted. Puppy. So there's the DocuSign. There's the aspect of what we observed with the dreads.red. 8432.188.11. And then the other addresses that we've observed right there. Looks like they were taken down. Possibly. By the time that the report was run. Which, July 19th, that would have been from the 13th or 14th, so just a handful of days. And this wasn't able to sit there and actually go through and do communications. Although it looks like, what, was it broken? Something apparently was. Okay, so that doesn't help much. Okay, so nothing in your triage, nothing in any.run, and hybrid analysis for 5 days after this particular event has a copy, but apparently wasn't able to sit there and actually pull down the DAT files. Identified as malicious by CrowdStrike. Well, I guess there's that. But just not like, okay, that it's, Qakbot or anything else along those lines. But I think there's more than enough there. Okay, so what are we trying to answer? We've got our payloads for URL. 3 of them that were there. Sender domain, sender full address, the hashes for the 7-zip, the XLS, the LNK, and the BAT. I think that's it. Okay. Email with a malicious 7-zip. Sent to Robert. Extraction. The malicious was executed. readme.lnk, which ran the ad.bat file. But unfortunately, dogs are tearing ass through the office. I don't know if the microphone's picking that up, but they're having fun. Okay, so malicious email with a malicious 7-zip file was sent to Robert. Upon execution, malicious XLS file was executed, followed by the README. We then observed execution of the signs of malicious reg SVR 32 activity silent flag with what was it? Dres.red. We're gonna mark it true positive. We've still got our note, and we'll go and close. We get a 2-day streak. Oh, good. We do have a report there. So apparently, known C2 infrastructure. So it would have been exfiltration over C2 channels. Wasn't any indication of interaction-based data collection technique. Yeah, I don't really care. Take me there anyways. That was going to be the other aspect. Qakbot, also known as Qbot. Or Pink Slip Bot, really? Banking Trojan. Recent years, Qakbot has become one of the leading banking Trojans around the globe. Its primary purpose is to steal banking credentials. Well, I guess I don't need to go through and find an article about Qakbot and pull that up. Device action was allowed, which we observed. And again, they point to the info.lnk when there was no info.lnk. And then they report supposedly info.7zip, but it's actually form.7zip. Ah, okay, I missed the sending IP address. That would have been in the log management. They did a search for Robert. So if we go to log management, yep, 201.13. Okay, so I missed that aspect, but that's fine. Ah, and if we'd gone and taken a look and pivoted back through that, we would have found that ties back to Qakbot. So if we go to we did URL hosts and we refang the domain as opposed to defang the domain or the sender. No? Okay. What if we put it like OTX? Yep. About 4 months ago in a Twitter feed for Cobalt Strike, Qakbot, DC Rat. Okay, so, and that's what would have given us the determination by pivoting back through the email in question, the email sender address. And they point out the weird executions that we ended up seeing. Kicked off from 80.bat, which we were able to identify also on the system, which they highlight. Make that bigger. Oh, then they do the comparison for the fresh, and then the unaltered. So D65B. Yeah, we got that one. And then they denote. So if we looked at the, okay, so Microsoft denotes it as Qakbot in the detection. Do they still? Oh, yeah, Qakbot. Just so used to seeing like, okay, downloader, everything else along those lines. Mostly because the fact that they didn't update anything there. Oh, let's do a reanalysis. We'll go back to that. 39 out of 60 that it's labeled. And if they run through that, that then shows up. Yep, Qakbot, Qbot. On the 18th. So still a few days afterwards. So they confirmed via the process. I need to analyze it separately. Yeah, well, we saw them download it at 8:29. And we got the hash for that. Inquest Labs. Which, wasn't that one of the items that was in the community? Yep. Along with DocGuard. There's the Reg SVR32, the silent, trying to kick off the deresed.red. And we saw that in sysmon, but it hashes that sysmon did were for Reg SVR32. We get hybrid analysis where we get the IPs, port 80. That stuff was already taken down. Okay, so if we just taken the IP addresses and run them through, we would have gotten more flags then. Yeah, then the last three there are the ones that make mention of for those 3 DAT files, which they talk to there. And then they go on to analyze the LNK, utilizing the same thing, Eric Zimmerman's LEC MD tool, which I did on my own VM, where they find out that yes, it kicks off ad.bat. Then they open ad.bat inside a Notepad++, and the same aspect that we observed. Ah, okay, and then that explains. They use the ECENT util to get victim internet history data, likely as Qbot or Qakbot attempts to extract passwords, credit card numbers, and other sensitive information from IE and Edge using the built-in utility. That's got to be pulled from a Red Canary report. There's just something about the way that that looks. I may or may not have read several of those reports. Maybe around the time that Emotet was still a big thing. And I think Qakbot's been they're one of their focuses lately. Just something about the way the formatting and color scheme. Oh, yeah. This technique is mentioned in the Red Canaries report. And then they go through as to why we killed those particular options, and then the database portion was run. And so they're giving away as to what would have been there. And that will give us what Qbot stole in that particular portion. Okay. Yeah, they definitely went a lot further in. We want to contain, we want to remove the phishing email. Lessons learned, recommended actions. Yeah, so definitely some areas that could do for improvement, specifically checking that log management, so I'll have to add that in for future endeavors, but hopefully that has been somewhat enjoyable. Again, this has been SOC214 Qakbot Data Theft, EventID 166, type data leakage 4, almost said December 17th, July 14th, 2023, 03:32 a.m., not p.m. And with all that being said, I will see everybody in the next video. And again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, or whatever you particularly engage in. Maybe Happy Festivus. Show my age on that one.